What's going on, guys? So this is episode 15? 13 of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls 2, and in this episode we're going to be covering the Gutter, a rather... It's an awkward area to navigate.
Yeah, it's pretty much this game's version of Blighttown.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use these little, basically, torch piles so we can light them and we can basically make sure we're not going to backtrack the same area twice. Now, these boards, be careful, you can fall through the ones that are perfectly straight and are a little bit lower than the other ones. You can fall through them into what is the only living quarters of this entire area.
Now, we will go there eventually, but there is two ways of doing the gutter. One takes you to just items and loops back to the start, and then the next way is the way out. So we're going to do the item run first, and then we'll loop back round and we'll go out.
So you also just seen your first new enemy.
First of all, actually, you can drop down there as a shortcut. Just remember this, us talking about a shortcut here, and you'll see later on, but continue on.
So the first enemy you seen us fight there was the dog. Now, these dogs only drop one thing, and that's aromatic ooze. Although they do, I'm sure they drop soul packets as well. But we've got nothing to back that up other than I think they do that.
Yeah.
We should probably mention these statues. These statues spit poison at you. They are irritating as shit. You can break them with an attack. Now, we're using the halberd. What you can do is break them with a torch, and it won't reduce your durability.
Yeah.
Which
so
is a good thing to do. So yeah, as you can see, it just spat poison. Whenever you go anywhere near it, it does that.
And they get worse in the next area, but they're kind of...
They're okay.
They're annoying as shit now, but they get even more annoying in the next area.
Yeah, the next area have ones that poison you a lot more.
So if these guys are giving you any trouble at this point in the game, then either kill yourself or stop playing, but...
You shouldn't have trouble.
Yeah, you should not.
There's also a shortcut here, by the way. See where that little torch is? If you run and jump straight across, then that's also a shortcut. Just so you guys know, but that's like more of a speedrunner thing, and it's like a 1 in 5 chance of the jump being not a baby jump.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding on, like quite a lot of speedruns are ended because of that jump being a baby jump. But you're just fighting more of these undead guys, so it's not really a big issue. These guys are quite easy to take care of. I went over what they drop a few videos ago, but in case you guys need reminded, it's poison throwing knives, life gems, torch for the ones that are using the torch. They can drop broken straight sword if they're wielding the sword. In fact, any of the ones with the sword can drop the broken straight sword, and they can drop every type of burr.
Now, it looks like we're going to take a right here, but we're actually not. You take a left from that wall here, and it looks really awkward, like you're not meant to do it, but this is actually the way you might go. Yeah. So you want to drop down fully first, and there should be stuff in these pots, I think.
No, that was me just checking because the guide's been so reliable, item placement so far.
Okay, so you want to go up the ladder first, and then you go up the ladder, you jump over, and then you need to jump over again to get other items.
Yeah, it's quite a backwards area, but look, you can see the torches in the distance from where we've already been. So this just goes to prove that this method actually helps you navigate this area in a way that you won't backtrack too much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's really only those two main paths. Do you know what I mean? So you shouldn't really... Watching us do it and explain it, it should pretty much cover it.
And that's a Ring of Soul protection. That's the exact same as the Ring of Life protection, where it would just, if you die, you don't leave a bloodstain. Pretty much it.
So when you get to this area, round about this area, we're not exactly sure what the exact requirements for showing up is, but Melinda the Butcher will show up. Now, if you kill her here, you can get her as a summon for the Ancient Dragon. However, you don't want to summon her regardless, but it can still happen.
So just while we're on the subject of Melinda the Butcher, she's not entirely difficult to take out. Just use that halberd sweet spot and you can take her down in a few hits. She does have the chance to drop a +3 Great Axe.
Yeah.
It is rare, but she can do it. Now what we're going to do is go and do this again. So you guys might not have had this experience where Melinda hasn't invaded right away, but she invaded pretty quickly for us. So we're just going to go ahead and grab the item that we missed.
Yeah, so we were kind of stupid there. We should actually just jumped off straight away, but you'll see what we've done. We went down here, and then we went to jump into that one there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where the item is.
This is a chest, and I mean, this is a sort of roundabout way of getting it, but it is Twinkling Titanite, so you can't really complain.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
It's free upgrade materials, and if you're going to complain about free upgrade materials, then this isn't the game for you.
Especially ones that upgrade the Dragon Lake set, so...
Yeah, especially ones that upgrade quite a few unique items in the game, actually.
So that's pretty much it for this part of this area.
Like the first layer of the gutter is done. Now we're going to go back to the bonfire, grab the life gem on the way there, and then go the other way.
So there's like a path that leads directly to the bonfire. Again, this was the path that said you could go right, so if you take this way, it pretty much goes along the outside wall. In these pots there's a life gem, so you may as well pick that up, and then you're back
Back
at
to the bonfire. So, rest up, restore your durability, and stand up, light a torch, and more of the same.
Now, you might want to change back to the fire longsword for this area, because everything is kind of weak to fire. And
everything has fire resistance, and it has like 0 fire resistance in this area.
yeah, so the only enemies that you actually really have an issue with are the big dog things.
Now, you can run and jump off of here, by the way, to that platform right across, like, just behind where we're facing right now.
Like, we're going to jump to it just now anyway, but we're just going to show you that, you know, you can fall down. So you can jump from up here, like I said, or you can fall down and jump.
Yeah, so we're going to fall through it. And the interesting part about this area here is really the only living quarters in the entire gutter. So like, there's a lot of hollows here. Obviously, hollows are used to be humanoid. They just ran out of humanity or some shit like that if we're still going by DS1. But, like, this is the only place where you could even see anyone residing. Like, they've got all the rags on the floor and shit like that. So it seems like this would be the living quarters of the gutter.
Yeah, and again, thanks to VatiVidya for this information, or speculation, I guess, but it's as if being fully hollow doesn't mean that you're a total monster.
Yeah, you still have some sense of being, you just don't really have any sense of control.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the jump to get over to the... It's kind of weird that you actually sort of need to run and jump to get to the next area, weirdly. But you want to jump over onto this platform, and this is how you progress.
Up here is where you would bring the Forgotten Key, which we're going to get later on in the game. That is where Havel's armor set is. So you're already worried about the poison spitters out in front of this out in front of this door. Don't worry, when you go inside, there is a million of them.
So here...
All we did was drop down. Now, if you don't go up there, it's fine. There's a bridge that takes you right across from where we lit the last little torch.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. You're not going to miss it.
You can see it just right there.
Yeah, you're not going to miss it. And you can tell where our torches are.
So jump through this hole, and this is pretty much kind of like us moving into this. There's like a grand structure here that we've just moved into now.
Yeah.
This structure isn't that important, but after the structure is where the shortcut that I mentioned earlier leads you to. So basically you can cut out this whole jumping area just by rolling off onto the bridge. But
yeah, where the first dog you fight is, you can just go straight behind it and drop off there. But regardless, this way leads you back around anyway. You can get through the gutter in 60 seconds. Yeah. You can get through the gutter. It's that simple. So that's the Dark Pyromancy Flame. Now the interesting thing about the Dark Pyromancy Flame is it gets more damage the more hollow you are. Which, from an invader point of view, is completely fucking useless.
Yeah.
But from an invadee point of view, isn't so useless. But it's the exact same as the regular Pyromancy Flame, just it does less damage unless you're hollow. That's pretty much it.
Moving up the structure, and there's like very few items in this entire area. And it's also quite confusing because parts of the floor can actually fall off, so you want to be quite careful. Like that bit there, don't, like, just stay into the middle in the bits that seem mostly walkable. And
of course this guy's come down the ladder, so that just completely cock blocks us.
You also don't need to really explore, because like, I think the flow's there as if like, oh, explore might be items around, but there isn't any items, and then you just gotta fall to your death.
Even if you take sure footing on that floor, you go very, 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 very slowly onto that platform, you'll drop down onto the Pyromancy Flame below you anyway.
No, that one you fall off it regardless.
If you're on the right side, you're on the Pyromancy.
So you want to just drop off onto this bit here. Now this is where the shortcut takes you. Up there to your right is where that first dog is, like we mentioned, and you might have been able to see the bridge in the background. So as you can see, you can skip that entire area, and you really only need to do the jump if you want to get to Havel's or get the Dark Pyromancy Flame.
So in our blind run, this sandbagger gave us a lot of issue, but as you can see, he's not actually a problem.
Yeah.
So
there's another item gathering area as well, so we're moving along, but there's some more items that we want to get that also technically leads to a shortcut. Sort of, not really. Not really. When the shortcut is drop here, go up the ladder, you're done. It's pretty much it. So be careful there, by the way, like that little gap on the right, like between the two planks, you can fall through that. Yeah. So just be wary of that when you're taking on that dog. Maybe bait the dog back onto the bridge or something like that if you're not too comfortable with the halberd at this point. But hopefully you are. Yeah. The halberd is the weapon that we find very, very useful in this game. It has great reach, it has great poise breaks, so enemies don't tend to be able to take more than 1 or 2 hits from it before they get stunned. Which means they can't hit you if they're stunned, and you can just keep wailing on them. So, I mean, not only the gutter's a pretty dark area, but lighting all these fire pauldrons is kind of good as well because it increases visibility. Although you obviously have the torch with you. Now, what we're doing right now is we're putting the auto lock off because what seems to be is there's a bunch of items, a bunch of enemies close to each other, and if you kill one, you lock automatically on another enemy, and then if you're walking forward and you lock to a different enemy, you could end up strafing around that and falling off the edge.
Exactly.
Which
or if you kill an enemy and then have to roll out the way, then if the lock switches, it changes your roll direction, which a lot of people had problems with that in Dark Souls 1. I'm just going to throw it out here. The first demonic brush, not the first one, sorry, the second demonic brush in Darkroot Gardens when you go from Undead Parish. The one that's like right next to the cliff face. You go to hit that and then you roll and you're off the fucking cliff 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So we're going to avoid this by turning off auto lock. What this means though is that if you do kill an enemy, prepare for lock on to break right away, which really shouldn't be an issue because you're probably going to base your roll off of the direction you're facing anyway, or from the direction where you were locked on, so it's going to keep that same angle.
So as you saw there was like a sort of slight gap that's very unobvious that you want to drop down onto a little platform, then drop down again, and then that leads you to this area. So there's actually a few kind of slightly decent items here, so you kind of maybe want to do this.
There's an armor set here.
And there's a Titanite chunk, and you kind of really want as many Titanite chunks as you can get at this point to upgrade your weapons as much as you can.
And yeah, Tartar Claw set.
Yeah, that as well.
Tartar Claw set is good, the exact same as it was in Dark Souls 1, where it's just good fire defense, good poison defense, that sort of thing. So it's as handy to have it, especially for like maybe a boss. If you've not done the Iron Keep yet for whatever reason, then maybe a Tartar Claw set might be the better of the light armor sets. That
if you don't have the Hexel set,
if you don't have the Hexel set as well, which I mean, you do.
I mean, you might not if you haven't done the.
If you haven't used our Soul Vessel technique, then no.
Yeah, although you kind of really want to do that because the Hexel set is awesome.
And it's just really handy to Soul Vessel once, get all your NPC quests out of the way except Navlands.
Yeah, exactly. So, getting the non-upgraded Ring of Evil Eye, which makes absolutely no fucking sense because you can get the upgraded one in the gutter, so...
I think that's there for people who go down through Grave of Saints and not just skip past Grave of Saints.
Yeah.
But, so what that actually tells you is the Grave of Saints is even less worth going through because you get a better ring for skipping it than what you do for going through it to get here.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ring of Evil Eye is crap, don't get us wrong, it's just not very good, but it's still a +1 version over just a standard.
So this area is a complete pain in the cunt, but it's a pain in the cunt if you want to be completely perfectionist like we are, but it's for the sake of a fucking flame butterfly, so don't piss yourself over it. Anyway, so we pick up the Banded Great Axe there, whatever. Which
isn't really that... I mean, it's probably okay.
It's a Great Axe weapon, so
our halberd broke, so now we're going to switch to the Fire Longsword.
Yeah.
But yeah, our halberd kind of just chewed it.
Yeah, it shat itself.
It bit the dust. But we've still got that +6 Fire Longsword, which is more than enough to take on this entire area.
It's true, because thankfully everything has shitty fire defense.
Yep, so, and the pokes are OP.
Do exactly what we do. You need to drop off slightly on the corner.
Then walk round and drop off again. Because although it looks like you can drop off from the other side, you can't, because when you drop off from that side, it slingshots you.
Yeah, it lands you on that thing which is like directly behind us. You can't drop on into that gap there. So
like you can't drop from above where we were standing. You can't do that. You have to drop off at that exact fucking angle.
Yeah, so now we're going down again because if you drop off, you can't get back up again. So you need to come all the way back up so we can show you the shortcut thing and where the Titanite chunk is.
It's not really a shortcut. It's one of these little hold X.
It's a zip line.
Yeah, the zip lines. For some reason, I just could not remember what they were fucking called.
And for some reason, they've not implemented them very much in the game. Anyway, so we're coming up here, and okay, there isn't a Titanite chunk here. Never mind. But right,
here's the zip line.
Right, this zip line takes you to where. Right, so if you remember the dog that we fought, which we nearly fell down the gap, if you went where the dog is, that path takes you to where this zip line takes you.
Yeah.
Which we'll actually show you the path later on in this video, but for now we're just showing you the zip line path.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course, I suppose at some point we really should go ahead and for a few Ultimate Guide extras we can get area shortcuts done as well, which I'm sure a few people would like to know because such as the Grave of Saints.
Yeah.
Pointless areas are just, well, yeah, I mean, it stands to speak for itself, pointless. So there you go, there's proof the dogs drop aromatic ooze as well.
Yeah.
So you don't need to take our word for it, there's proof.
So
now, this area This area, that made no sense. I fell through wood.
Yeah. Right, that really shouldn't have happened.
At all. It's just poor, it's just, I mean, I can't really blame them for it considering the amount of planks and shit that are here. But at the same time, come on, FromSoft.
Right, but so to reset what it is we're trying to do, because we didn't want to go this way just yet. Now, you did see that we picked up a black firebomb there, so now we picked it up if you do fall down. But we're just going to quickly go back to where we were.
Now we can show you the shortcut, because anything else we want to grab is on that side. So we can quickly do that. If your halberd is broken at this point, because we used the homeward bone, do feel free to go back to Majula and repair it. Because, I mean, you've got time. It's not as if you have to do this at the exact same time as we do.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got time to do that. So as you can see here, I'm just basically trying to kite this dog over here, because it's just a little bit simpler to handle.
Oh, apparently we took the zipline again. Never mind.
Zipline. Well, there you go then.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, 6 and half a dozen.
Yeah, basically the reason why we didn't want to drop down into that area is because there's a jump that you want to make. Oh no, I don't even know if it's a jump. There's just like a bridge that takes you over to
the Poison Ant Queen.
Yeah, right. So if you drop down into that area, there's a jump that you need to make to get to the bonfire, and it's a pain in the ass. But if you don't fall down, so if you don't care about a black firebomb, you want to go the other way because it means that you don't need to risk the jump and die, essentially.
Yeah. I like how the gutter looks now that all the little pauldrons are.
Yeah, it looks warm, doesn't it?
It looks, well, I mean, it doesn't look homely warm. It just looks better.
Yeah.
So we're going to use that flame butterfly that we wasted our time getting. And we're going to drop onto this bridge again.
So, it just fell through the enemy just fell through the floor.
Yep. Because this game is great. Now I need to use another flame butterfly. So we're already -1 flame butterfly because of that stupid fucking texture thing.
Thanks, B-Team.
Yeah.
Oh, it just fucking shows it. What the fuck?
I know what it is. This game, and I'm not even kidding, this game has render distance.
Yeah.
For enemies.
So anyway, right, so killing the dog.
Now, what I was going to say about this area, which is very strange, is that all these planks are scattered and like they're all in odd directions. The ones that are perfectly straight are the ones you can fall
on
through.
The right, you can fall through the ones on the right. So there's a bridge.
2 there, by the way. There's 2 planks that you can fall through, so just keep an eye out for it.
Right, so this bridge that you want to take across essentially leads to, quote-unquote, the proper way of doing this without the jump, because all you need to do is drop down onto the next area. Now, in that bit to the right is a kind of really interesting thing that...
It's the Poison Ant Queen.
Yeah, right, so this thing... Oh no, it isn't... okay, this bit isn't the Poison Ant Queen, right? This bit is the Ring of the Evil. It's below is the Poison Ant Queen.
Where have they got the Ring of the Evil?
Not the Ring, the shield, the handprint shield.
Yeah.
It has the same effect as the Ring of the Evil.
Yeah, this, just fun fact, a bit of trivia, this was actually designed by a fan of the game.
Yeah.
This was the... Because you remember when Dark Souls 2 had the design a shield and we'll use it in the game sort of contest thing? Yeah, this was one of them, even though it looks meh. Okay, it's got the Illuminati on it, so I mean, I hate it already.
Right, okay, so here we are. We're dropping down into the next area. As you can see, there is a fog gate which will lead to the bonfire.
There's no boss in this area, by the way. That's something we could have probably mentioned at the start.
Oh, yeah,
there isn't
no
a boss here. So, I mean, if you want a bonfire aesthetic and farm all these drops again, you can, but there's none of them that are really worth it because all the items are in steel chests which won't respawn.
Exactly. So
this is the Ant Queen.
Yeah, this is the Ant Queen, and for some reason, the stupid little enemy spider things that are around it...
These things drop Firestorm.
Apparently.
Only the ones in the gutter drop Firestorm.
It's never happened to us.
It is... Can you understand why they drop Firestorm?
And this is only going off the wiki, by the way, because this is where we're getting our drop data from.
Shitty fire resistance. Yeah. And they drop Firestorm, so just, here, we'll just give you what you need to kill all of us.
Now, remember to pick up these poison bosses, but right, the Ant Queen is not even aggressive, and all it does is the fumes it spits out actually cures your poison. Now, what you want to do is you actually kind of want to keep the Ant Queen here, because later on, if you get the Santier Spear, basically it's a weapon that you need to break to use it, and it's got 500 durability.
Yeah, it's a halberd until you break it, then it becomes a twin blade spear hybrid thing.
So you kind of want to take it to the poison Ant Queen and then just wail on the Ant Queen while you've casted Warmth next to it, and then you can break the spear much easily that way.
Or if you want a much... In fact, if you want a much... The way everyone breaks weapons now, and I'm not even kidding on it, is as simple as this. go to Majula and just keep hitting Sweet Shalquar. She cannot be killed and she does not aggro. You can just keep wailing on her with a spear until it's broken, and it breaks like 2 times, 3 times quicker than what it would do if you're hitting a wall with it over and over again.
Right, so anyway, this is the bonfire that we have to like go through. There's a bunch of like ladders and shit. Now, right, there's loads of ladders in the next area, which is my opinion, it's shit.
Great clipping.
Right, so this is the shortcut we're going to show you now. Now that we've got to the bonfire, we're going to show you the shortcut, not the ladder area.
Also, just so you guys know, the poison spitting statues will not respawn if you use the bonfire. They will only respawn if you homeward bone or die. Otherwise, you're fine to use the bonfire all you want. Just as long as you don't die, these things shouldn't come back.
Right, so now you're trying to bait the dog out.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're just running past it, so.
Yeah, because I'm not going to waste my time.
Right, now this part is actually
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, in a way you might want to actually just skip this one room, because if you're not methodical and break the statues like we're not doing, then you're just going to get poisoned, essentially. So.
And just so you guys know, remember the shortcut I mentioned at the start that all the speedrunners do, where it's like a 1 in 5 chance to not get a baby jump? This is where it leads you. Like, you jump and you come through those planks, and you get here, so you can just get up here, run, and that's you at the bridge that takes you to the other dog, with the 2 wooden platforms that can fall through.
So as you can see, if you do take if you don't drop down and get the items and zipline across, if you do take the other method, there is no items, so you kind of maybe want to just go and do the item run so you don't get poisoned.
These things drop when they want to. Like, this entire building is just shitty done. It's not even done well. I have to hit it to fall through. And even then, a plank that should break still stays up there.
So remember to get the black firebomb, but if you drop down here, you might as well.
I remember why I died here, because this is the jump and I got the shit spat out of me.
Yeah, so basically, as you can see, there's a bunch of spitting statues across from the jump you need to make. Now, these things can actually hit you in midair, so you want to jump from here and across.
Yeah,
because
try
it's the
and
shortest jump
between them if you can.
And as you can see, that's what can happen. And then if they hit you in midair, you go and then you fall. So,
yeah, that's why our bloodstain was there, because we tried to do this.
And that's also why you don't want to fall down, and you want to just go the other way across the bridge and drop down.
Yeah, it makes it simpler. So now we're cutting back to where we were before we transitioned into another clip. We've just come from that bonfire, got a torch lit. Now you only have to go down one of these many ladders, and the one ladder you go down actually gets everything on the way down as well. And it's right there behind these 2 pots. That is the landmark for it, those 2 pots.
Yeah, and if you need even more confirmation, it is the pots that drop the dung pie. It's the ladder behind them. That's the one that will take you.
It's the ladder that is hidden behind the pots. It's that simple. So, pots down, ladder. And what this ladder actually takes you to as well is the Great Club, which is just really a direct upgrade from the large club. It weighs more, it has a higher requirement, it does more damage. It's just the basic case of if you want to use a bigger, better large club.
Yeah.
It's a little slower, but its moveset is the exact same. It's just more damage. So, yeah, Great Club. I mean, that's going to be our Lizard Killer at some point anyway, just because it does more damage at the upgrade level we're taking it to, which is like +3. Now, this is stupid, because you go through this entire area and you're like, God damn it, I've used all my resources. Well, good news, guys. There's 20 life gems down here.
Yeah, so you definitely want to pick that up.
Yeah, this is and like you have to like come down here to finish the gutter, so you may as well pick up the 20 life gems as well while you're here.
Not only that, this is where you get dark fog as well. It's in a pot. Dark fog is just lying there in a pot, so remember to pick that up, because it's a very good hex. Although it's not as good as it used to be, it is very good.
And to finish the area, just take off your gear, roll through these acid pots, and grab the fragrant branch of yore.
Yep.
Which will it come in handy?
So, I mean, I think we're maybe overstocked in Fragrant Branch of Yore currently, but regardless, we never need to backtrack for branches of Yore or Forest Lockstones in this playthrough. So,
which is really handy. And of course, the first bonfire in the gulch is right here.
Which we actually missed it the first time we'd done it, so maybe you missed it.
Who knows? But as you can see, the poison statues that were there are covered in poison. They do more poison buildup.
And they spit out more as well, more frequently.
Yeah, and they're they spit quicker as well. So it's like you even get in its little fucking hit cone at all, and it's just bang, machine gun to death.
Anyway, so we're gonna go back to Majula and level up at this stage.
Even though we barely really. There wasn't a boss or anything, but there were soul packets, there were a few menial enemies that we killed a few times over.
And every little helps, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if we get 1 or 2 levels out of an area, then it's worth going through.
Definitely.
So, I mean, unlike the Grave of Saints, where you're lucky if you even get a level because the Royal Rat boss is pish.
At this stage, anyway.
Yeah.
Not only that, like, the Rotten is coming up, obviously that's a boss that we need to do, and he is quite difficult. At least I think so, and he is one of the harder bosses, anyway.
I do think he is... I was going to say, I do think he's the easier of all 4 bosses that you need to kill, but I actually take that back. I think the Sinner is the easiest.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, definitely.
Not an NG+, though. In NG+, the Sinner gets little Pyromancy phantoms that come in, and they're a pain in the ass. You just get Forbidden Sun. So annoying. Not Forbidden Sun, Fireball.
We obviously repaired our halberds, because we need to make sure that was going to happen.
Because we done fucked up. But yeah, we've got a few soul packets on us, and so we can't really complain. I mean, what we did get there, though, is 20 life gems. We did get Dark Fog. So
that's true. So
there is that. It is worth going to. And we've also managed to show you guys where you go with the Forgotten Key to get Havel's set, which is the most bullshit armor in the game.
Not only that, we'll obviously show you. We will show you us using the Forgotten Key when we get it in the Black Gulch episode.
Yeah. So at the end of the Black Gulch, we're going to cover all the Forgotten Key doors, which there are 3 of them. Is it 3? Yes, 3. Medulla, Black Gulch, and Gutter. Yeah.
Not Medulla. There's one in the Black Gulch.
Medulla, yeah. The
pit. Yeah, the pit. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But that's us. So we leveled up just the exact same as last time at this point. Go to 40 health, 40 endurance, then after that we're going to be basically putting stats into Int and Faith so we can use Dark Weapon at its original stats so we get the full duration.
And then after that we're just putting in adaptability.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So that's our stats that we're ending on, and that is the end of the video and indeed the Gutter. So as you can see, the Gutter is maybe slightly... I would say it's slightly harder your first playthrough than Blighttown, but whatever.
It depends, but it's definitely a little bit easier to navigate because of the torch mechanic. It's easier to navigate, but that is the end of the video. So as ever, guys, box on the left, the previous video for Grave of Saints, another completely fucking trivial area, and box on the right for the next area, which will be the Black Gulch, which you'll probably have a little bit of trouble on if you're not too careful. As you can see at the top, there is a link in the description down below if you guys do feel like donating to us, but do not feel obliged. Just a like, comment, even a subscribe, even just a view is more than enough.
We just hope that we helped.
Yeah.
And remember, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and remember to catch us on a Twitch stream at some point. If you subscribe, obviously you'll be able to see us when we're streaming. So. And
if you follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you get updates about pretty much everything we're doing.
Yeah.
We update Facebook more often than Twitter, I would say, because it's usually me that's on Twitter. But the point is, follow us on them and you'll never miss a beat.
Yep, and I mean, that's it for the episode, and we hope you enjoyed that, guys.
So we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.